You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is July 19th, 2022 meeting of the LaPorte County Board of Zoning Appeals. You can find more information on this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. All stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How about a roll call tonight?
Dwayne Hogan.
Here.
Glenn Minnick.
Here.
April Daly.
Here.
Adam Karanka.
Present.
Melissa Mullins-Mishke.
She's off sick tonight. Can I have approval of the meeting minutes from June 21st, please?
I'll make a motion that the minutes be approved as presented.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. First petition tonight is petition for variance of developmental standard for Dennis Stewart for construction of a pole barn in the front of his home instead of the rear of a height of 24 feet instead of the minimum 18 feet, or maximum 18 feet, for placement of shipping containers also during construction. This property is located at 4335 North US 35, LaPorte, Edson Center Township. Petition number one.
Notice is adequate.
Petition number one. Name and address for the record, please.
Dennis Stewart, 4335 North US Highway 35.
Thank you, Dennis. And what is it you want to do tonight?
Just trying to get my variance.
Okay. Were there anything else we had to follow up on from last month for that?
I got the permit for the shipping container as requested.
Okay. Is that part of the pack for you?
What do we do?
It's not a permit. He added it and amended his petition, so he's asking for that to
include that?
He's supplied a new site plan, and I've supplied accident data for that intersection.
Okay.
So this was tabled from last month.
Right.
And the updated site plan has much more information and distances on it.
Okay. Any questions, concerns of the board? Follow up?
I don't see the results of the report from Ashley.
It was in your packet.
Okay.
It's folded in half.
Fold it in half.
Fold it in half.
Right here. It's just that place what they were, collisions or whatever. Are there any other remonstrators here this evening for petition number one? You want to have a seat for a quick second? Do you have just one speaker? I don't need to hear three things one time. Yes, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
Michael Walzak, 4366 North US Highway 35.
Okay, thanks, Mike. What is it?
The information that you guys looked up for the accidents, is this the list? Because if it is, it doesn't pertain to this intersection.
It was supplied to me by the state for that intersection.
It's the wrong road.
You gotta go to your mic, please.
Pardon me?
Your mic, please.
I sent them.
Information on this list came from the commissioner's office. My neighbor went and picked it up after the last meeting. This information doesn't pertain to this intersection.
I sent them a map with a pinpoint on which intersection, and this is what they gave me.
Okay.
This is County Road 400
It could be
North.
labeled wrong on their end, because I didn't send an address. I sent a map dot.
A pin drop?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, every
That'd be pretty
accident on
precise
here
then.
is
Yes.
County Road 400 North.
Then they labeled it wrong.
Yeah.
What are the changes from what they had before, as far as where the pole barn's going?
I don't know.
Because this is the first we've heard of it.
So looking at the map here, they've got provided much more
detail in terms of where the placement of the barn was, which was one of the major requests from this board, is to truly understand where that barn was compared to the berm, compared to 400 West versus 35.
Is it going to be farther back, or what?
It's their original plan with just more detail to us so that we have something to make a decision off of.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other concerns?
Well, yeah, about the safety of that intersection. I mean, I've got a picture right here out of my girlfriend's car pulling up to the stop sign, and all you're looking at's the berm.
Okay.
Even when you pull out to the intersection where you can see down the road, anybody coming from LaPorte to make a left turn on 400, or like me, if I'm coming home from LaPorte and to turn into my driveway, because I live right across the street, people pass you constantly on the shoulders of the road there. If you pull up into that intersection and they don't see you or you don't see them, there's going to be wrecks. And that's why I was complaining about this, because there's tons of accidents over there.
Mm-hmm.
And without the right records.
Could you show us that picture, please?
This is from, even with the stop sign, you have to pull forward to get to the street to even see anything.
I mean, that shows the same thing. You can't see if you're in a car.
So I guess it'll be what's our pleasure going to be.
I mean, if you guys think the barn's okay, I think we should
What do you
ask
guys
for
think?
removal of the berm.
Removal of the berm, probably.
So it doesn't create a blind
least-
spot.
At least that.
At least on the south side of that berm.
Yes.
It's beyond where the barn is.
Here's your picture, Beck. Is this an extra one? Give it to our attorney, please.
Yeah, because our attorney will need it for the file.
Any other questions, concerns of the board?
Just to see a new print wherever they're putting this stuff.
What's our pleasure? Just do it.
Yep. So looking at the drawing here and looking at the photos that just came across, I'd like to provide a motion where the petition for variance of developmental standards for Dennis Stewart be approved with contingency that the barn placement be as provided here in the drawing, but the southmost, let's call it 25 feet of the berm be brought level with the front yard.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Can we make that motion so that even to the front of the barn? Would you call it the front of the barn?
To where the south end of the south end of the barn. That works. That makes it more legitimate.
Will you say that again?
Can we draw it for Doug on this map?
We're going to draw it.
Do you need it out, Doug?
Okay, we have a motion, have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Any other further questions? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. You have to follow the criteria that he's got laid out for the form.
I have a comment.
Yes?
The configuration of both sides of 400 West with the growth of the trees and the way the stop signs are so far back, they create natural barriers just in themselves. And people pull so because you can't see north up 35, and if you're on Mike's side and you're coming down 400 West, you can't see south because there's so much growth and trees. If the intersections were configured differently and you could pull up squared up to it, my berm, which is completely inside my space, not any easement, in my yard, has nothing to do with anything. And the barn has nothing to do with line of sight. The road is configured wrong, and I shouldn't be penalized for that.
Well, we're sorry you feel it's penalized, but the board has already made a motion and passed on it, contingent that's how you're going to want to build your barn, so you can get your print from them. That's how you're going to have to go with it.
Okay?
Okay, thank you. Petition number 2 for this evening is a petition for a variance of developmental standard for Laya Hollander to construct a 30 by 40 pole barn, that's 1,200 square foot, prior to construction of a primary residence. It's going to serve as a workshop and storage for construction and primary residence. This property is located at 9489 North, 600 West, Michigan City, Springfield Township. Petition number 2.
Yes, adequate.
Name and address for the record, please.
Alila Hollander, 9489 Muir Road.
Okay, and?
Justin Zock.
My name is Justin Zock, husband, same address.
Same address. Okay, and what would you like to do this evening?
Be able to get our petition for the pole barn so that way we can start construction on the main residence next year.
Have you started the pole barn yet?
No.
Okay. Do you have the stakes and everything put in where they're going to go?
Yes.
I thought that was those. Are there any remonstrators here this evening for petition number 2? Question, comments, concern of the board? Anybody?
Okay. Any problem?
No problem.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion, please.
I'd like to make a motion, the petition for variance of developmental standards for Alejandro be granted for construction of a 30 by 40 pole barn before construction of the primary residence.
I'll second.
Any question, comments, or concern? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck. Build it.
Thank you.
Petition number 3 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standard for Latasha Moon for keeping and raising 20 chickens, 16 goats for milk and meat. This property is located at 1713 East, 800 North. That's in Galena Township, and it's on 2 acres. Petition number 3.
Thank you.
Yes, adequate.
Is this one?
And I believe you're on Zoom, correct?
Yes.
All right, your name and address for the record, please, and please speak loudly.
LaShonda Moon, 1713 East 800 North, LaPorte.
Okay, thank you. And what is it you want to do this evening?
Get the variance to keep.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Now we can, better.
Okay. Just get the variance to keep our animals.
How many animals do you currently have on your possession right now?
12. There's, no, I think 11 goats, 4 sheep, and probably 15 chickens and 4 or 5 ducks.
All right, just so you know, I did check with the animal shelter, and they said absolutely no way. That's just way too many animals for only 2 acres of property that you have. So I'd like to entertain a motion that we either dissolve this or just throw it out altogether and have a repetition for something that's either more suitable for 2 acres.
We broke it down, me and Janet in the office, and it's 0.1 acres per goat or sheep. And then 10, is it? And I forget what it was, but we broke it down like to the exact number.
When I checked with the Animal Control Center, they said that's too many animals for 2 acres. So again, let's just entertain a motion.
Dwayne, I'd like to give the motion that the petition of variance for developmental standards for LaShonda Moon be denied based on the recommendation from the animal shelter.
Have a motion, have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any other question, comments, or concern from the board? All those in favor of denying petition number 3 signify by saying aye. Aye. The other way? I'm sorry, it's been denied. You're going to have to remove some of those animals you have out there too, and please check with the animal shelter to see how many you can legally have on that property. Thank you.
The paperwork that you guys gave me says exactly what we have.
That's if you would have a 3-acre lot, I believe, because
That's for less than 3 acres. I will bring.
Doesn't matter. We got to keep the record clean. The
Thank you.
board's made its decision.
Thank you. Thank you, caller. Petition number 4 for this evening is a petition for a variance of developmental standard for John and Ethel Jones. They have a foundation 501c3 represented by Jeff Jones for placement of an RV for temporary personal use during the summer months. This property is located in the northwest corner of Tulip Lane. That's in New Carlisle, and it's zoned R1B. Petition number 4.
Notice is adequate.
Petition 4. Thank you. Name and address for the record, please.
Jeff Jones, I don't have an address.
Where do you live?
21 Cypress Way, Wolford Heights, California.
Price of gas, that's a long way to go for a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And what is it you want to do, Jeff?
Well, originally I wanted to roast a hot dog. Perhaps s'mores? It's the words. I don't have a building. I have little kids who need to get out of the city. And so I had the bright idea, perhaps you could buy a lot and you would be allowed to eat your hot dog. No. You have to get a variance. What's the variance? We don't know. Where's the lot located? We don't know. Is there anything that I can do to be in compliance with the laws of the state of Indiana? We don't know. Okay, I'll call the Secretary of State. We'll follow this down the line. They're going to direct me to the county jurisdiction. I appeared there, and I repeat it. I have purchased this from afar. I know not what the local jurisdiction rules are. Could you please assist me in complying with whatever local authority there may be? We don't know. So I came down right to this corner. I spoke to them. We can't find the property. Okay? I can't help you there. They searched and searched. I was at first told, you can't be here, you gotta leave. You bought the property, you bought the camper, you're asking what to do to be in compliance, and they can't help you find the property. They can't tell you what the rules are. Perhaps there's a checklist. Yes, there is. Give us $100 and we'll give it to you. Give us 35 more bucks and we'll publish it in the paper. Sounds okay to me. Well, what are you going to do about this person on the other side of the road who's contending that this is a private road, I cannot use it, and then he comes back and says, sorry, it's a public road, we'll have to share it. There isn't enough easement on either side. Again, I only wanted to cook a hot dog. I don't know what this is all about. I don't care. I bought a property with no particular use in mind. Just, this is the United States, man. If you got a deduction, take it. All right? I don't have to explain anything to anybody. I live in California. I bought property in Indiana. Sorry. Didn't know. Well, now that you know, go and do all these things on this checklist. All right, I would do them, but what are you going to do about my rights as a property owner in the state of Indiana? Someone is crossing a road. This someone has been informed that this property is under the jurisdiction of LaPorte County. If we have something to be resolved, it will be resolved by authorities of LaPorte County. I am following the directions that I have been given. This person follows nothing. He crosses the road after lying about it being a private road. His property is on one side, mine is on the other. What gives this person the right to circumvent the procedure here? I have to pay $100. I have to apply as a petitioner. What gives this man the right to cross the road and tell me to leave? There was a fake visit from a person probably on his lunch break from the sheriff's department. Upon checking with the authorities, I find that no one has been dispatched officially. So this was not an action taken by the county. This person proceeded to tell me, this Deputy Corrales, proceeded to tell me that if I were you, I wouldn't be here Monday. I immediately called the county offices and I said, well, I'm being threatened. My workers are being harassed. I received a letter somewhere in the county. You need to come and cut your trees back or something. It's on the easement of the other property. All right, well, I'll come and see about that. That sounds reasonable. We will comply with anything that is necessary. We come here. I hire people to do the work. This man crosses the road again and threatens my workers. They have no right to be here. I am a legitimate corporation. I have hired these men. They have a right to be here. My rights have been consistently violated. The county government says you have 2 days to get off. Then they say, nah, 5 days. Well, upon further consideration, you have 7 days. And then finally, sir, you don't have to move at all. Repeatedly, I have said, please understand, this is no whole big deal to me. You cannot reside full-time in a camper in the state of Indiana for very good reasons. You would freeze to death. However, I thought that if I bought my own land in the United States of America, which Indiana sits right square in the center of it, if I buy a piece of equipment, truck, or camper, don't try to park it on US 20. Don't try to park it on the main thoroughfare. Buy a place of your own. Park and eat your hot dog. Is that all you want to do, Mr. Jones? Yeah, that's it. Probably 1 day out of the year, I'll come to Indiana and eat a hot dog with my grandchildren. Oh, you got to get a variance. You got to get 3 or 4 stickers, and on top of that, we want an ice cream with a cherry. I don't got one. I'm not building anything.
Okay, we're going to back
no
up a little bit. I think we got a little bit of the picture of the idea.
I think so.
You bought a piece of property.
See.
This property is not in a campground.
No, it is not.
No, you bought a camper.
That's correct.
Put this camper on this piece of property.
That's right.
This board does not make a precedence of letting you just start a campground anywhere you want to start a campground.
It is not a campground.
You put a trailer on a piece of property and you stay in there.
No, sir, you're incorrect. A campground is very, very different.
We're not allowed. We don't allow trailers in that. Are there any demonstrators here this evening? Would you please have a seat, Jeff? And we'll have another demonstrator come up here. I'm not going to entertain this. Yes, sir. Name and address for the record.
My name is Dr. Bruce Watson, 7702 North Miller Boulevard, New Carlisle.
Yeah.
And we are the party he's discussing. I don't know why we're talking about that. We're talking about putting a temporary unit on a piece of property.
Just as I stated.
And we're not opposed to that. I think Jeff owns the property.
Right.
We would like to have sewer, water, electricity, permanent residence because it's a residential area and not a temporary area.
Okay.
Questions or?
Nope. Thank you for your comments, sir. Question, comments to the board? It's not a campground.
No.
Kind of like you said, it's not a campground.
Not a campground.
So we do not grant permanent placement of motorhomes or campers in residential areas.
Please, sir. Come to the podium, please, but don't talk. Come to the podium, please. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Dwayne, I'm going to...
Excuse us, we're in the middle of a motion right now. Go ahead.
Dwayne, I'm going to provide a motion that petition for variance of developmental standards for the John and Ethel Jones Foundation, 503C 501c3, represented by Jeffrey Jones, be denied.
Have a motion, can I have a second?
I second.
Any other further question, comments, or concern of the board? All those in favor of denying this petition signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed the other way? I'm sorry, petition's been denied, you need to remove the trailer. Thank you, have a good evening.
Excuse me, it's not.
It's, okay, it's been done though. Okay, petition number 5 this evening, as we're moving right along. It's a petition for a variance of developmental standard for Sarah Armour for raising 12 chickens and 4 ducks. Last variance was granted on July 20th of 21 for 1 year. This property is located at 4253 West Schultz Road, LaPorte, and that's in Center Township. Petition number 5, please.
Notice adequate.
Your name and address for the record, please.
Sarah Moore, 4253 West Schultz Road, LaPorte, Indiana.
All right, Sarah. How did it work out with the animals?
It's fine. We had one duck pass away from natural causes. We took her to a vet over in Valpo. She had some bones that were fusing together, so we did antibiotics and what else did we? Antibiotics and steroids, I think, and tried to get her fixed, and we couldn't fix her. So, and then we had some meat chickens. So, of course, they're gone. So we have 7 chickens and 3 ducks. We lost nothing to the elements over the winter, and nothing to any predators.
Okay.
So,
Are there any remonstrances, excuse me, for this petition number 5?
I think
Question, comments, concerns of the board?
Got one quick comment. So Sunday afternoon, I took a drive and did a pretty extensive tour of the property and saw a decent run for the chickens in addition to the coop. The yard seemed pretty well clean. I mean, the fence is suitable for what they're trying to do here.
I drove by and saw it, purchased the same thing, so.
Yep.
Any other concerns of the board? What's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion that the petition for a variance of developmental standards for Sarah Amar for raising 12 chickens and 4 ducks be granted continuous at this time for her.
Okay. I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Any further questions, comments, or concerns for our board? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go, you got your chickens.
Thank you.
Thank you. 6 has been postponed.
It's a new 6.
by the way.
Well, I knew that was coming.
Last year they didn't get.
Good luck, kids. Make sure you help.
They do.
All right, petition number 7 for this evening is a petition for a variance of developmental standard for Daniel Chikowski to convert an existing grain bin into a guest house for personal use. This property is located at 5627 East, that's 1,000 North in LaPorte, Galena Township, and it's on 1.88 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Name and address for the record, please.
Daniel Sikowski, 12201 Prairie Street, Lamont, Illinois.
And?
Chrissy Skowski, same address.
Same address.
My wife, the boss.
Good job. And what is it you want to do this evening?
All right, so the grain bin that we have there used to be a chicken coop. We want to turn that into a guest house for personal use while we figure out what we're going to do with our main residence.
And the guest house for?
Personal use.
Right, not for rent, not for nothing else?
We're going to be using that for personal use.
All right. What kind of house are you going to turn it into?
Oh, the grain bin?
Yes.
I kind of mocked up something by hand if you would like to see it.
Thank you.
A little bed in there and, yeah, oh yeah, show them that too.
Well, this is not ours, this is one but this is kind of an example of what we would, so what would it
You need to have a mic.
Here's an example of what we would want it to look like. Something along these lines. And then to give an example,
impressive.
it'll be, yeah.
It's 20 by
cool.
20, so, I mean, you could fit a lot. Normal hotel room is about 294 square feet, so you could fit a lot in a space.
This is existing, what it looks like right now. And then this is just in comparison to the property, so it's far away from the street.
This will have independent well and septic?
Yes.
Okay. And electric, I assume?
Yes. Everything will be electric, no gas to it. Split system. Spray foam installation.
You can show those pictures to our attorney, please?
Is this what they're starting with?
Yes.
That's they're gonna
I've seen
make
them.
it bigger?
They're gorgeous. Are you going up higher than what this?
No.
No.
No, it's 8 feet, so we're going to keep the roof
8 to the
line-
top of the roof line, yes.
Yes, top of the roof line's 8, and we're gonna spray foam the whole thing so you don't keep down the noise, and then obviously we have to figure out what we're gonna do with the barn because the costs are insane right now.
Exactly.
So I mean, my siding went up like 300%, so I said we're gonna kill it, and that's it.
I feel for it. I have seen a few of these that have been redone inside that, and they're absolutely gorgeous when they do it.
The building department up to
Yeah, that was my very next
inspecting
question.
something like this and making it safe?
Sure. Yeah, good
right.
answer. Are there any remonstrated this evening for petition number 7? Questions, comments of the board?
Real quick question. So I've seen this advertised, and I've seen the banner out there that talks about Medallion Manor being more of a business, and I
Right.
see this is listed as personal use. Is there any concern from a legal standpoint on this one, Doug?
No, but you can impose any restrictions you want.
Just making sure that we didn't put ourselves in harm's way.
Yeah. Trying to keep the findings of facts clean.
Yes.
Yes. What's the pleasure of our board?
Dwayne, on that note, I will provide the motion that the petition of variance of developmental standards for Daniel Sikowski be granted.
Have a motion, have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any further explanation, questions, or concerns of the board? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck. That's going to be
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I might come look at that.
Wait till you see the barn when we get it going.
Okay.
That's
Just make sure you pull the proper permits and everything.
We will.
Thank you.
Talk to Ashley.
Thank you.
See ya.
There's no petition 8 tonight?
We do.
There's supposed to be.
Or-
Flower.
He's like,
He's
not
not here,
me.
though. I don't see him, so.
Petition number 8, I'll read it in. Developmental standard for Keith W. Blower for temporary placement of an RV to live in during construction of a primary house. This property is located at 1156 East 600 North LaPorte, Kankakee, Zone A on 2.64 acres. Petition number 8, are you here? Are you on Zoom? Can I have a motion to postpone petition number 8?
I'll make a motion to table.
Yeah, table.
Table, I'm sorry. A motion and a second?
Second.
To table petition number 8 till next month. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Table. Do we have any old business that needs to be discussed? No? Any other new business to bring up?
You guys got my email about next month's agenda, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I might have, but not opened it. Anything pressing yet?
The battery energy storage is coming.
Oh, yes, I did. I'm sorry, I take that back, I saw that. All right, with all that being said, I'll entertain a motion to have us adjourn tonight.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks, board, we did a good job tonight.